Hello Gemini. My name is Agatha, and this is a tarot reading to find out about you and your romantic soulmate. What you need to know. This is going to be a Celtic cross spread, which is a 10-card reading. I'm going to use for you the Chrysalis Tarot, and what else? Celtic. This is going to be if you have the Sun in Gemini, the Moon in Gemini, or the rising sign in Gemini. Also, if you have the Venus in Gemini. If you have any of those, then this reading is for you. If you like something similar for you, please. At the moment, I'm doing the same thing for you for $25 US. Okay, if you like something similar, please write to dunyazade@gmail.com. Okay, what else? This reading is relevant for you whenever you find it, whenever you see it. Doesn't matter if you see it now, doesn't matter if you find it a year from now. The time when you see it is the time in which you were meant to see it. Please be patient, because all readings will eventually be up, because I'm doing this, slowly, and also I cannot give you timing. Okay, I cannot give you timing. I cannot tell you that it's going to be that you are with your romantic soulmate, or you're going to meet him or her in a month's time, in 3 months, in 10 years. I cannot give you timing. Plus, I'm going to show you 3 cards, and you're going to pick 1 card. And at the end of the reading, I'm going to tell you the meaning of the card that you picked. So, the first card is Ring. The second card is Birds. And the third card is Tree. Pick one of these, okay? Pick one of these, and at the end of the reading, I'm going to tell you the meaning, okay? So, Gemini, you and your romantic soulmate, what you need to know. You and your romantic soulmate, what you need to know. 1, 2, 3. So let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Let's see. You have how many major arcana cards? You have 1, 2, 3 major arcana cards, and you have 2 aces, which is interesting, and you have the soulmate card, which is interesting also. So let's start, Gemini, you and your romantic soulmate, what you need to know. So the general theme for the reading is the Ace of Spirals. So I can read this. The spirals in the suit of spirals in the Chrysalis Tarot is the suit of wands in traditional decks, and this is associated with the fire signs, which are Aries, like represented here, Sagittarius, and Leo. But the first thing that I got seeing this card was that this is a brand new beginning in your love life, in your romantic life, Gemini. Your soulmate either represents to you a brand new chapter in your life, or you represent to him or to her a brand new chapter in his life or her life. This is like something absolutely new, something which was never lived before, and something that gives you lots of enthusiasm, or gives both of you joy and enthusiasm. If this, so this is a brand new type of relationship, you know, and also this relationship might be very passionate sort of relationship. This could be also young love, because Aries, I'm looking at the card, and to me this is Aries. Aries is like the start, the spark, and it connects with young people. Gemini also connects, the sign connects with young people. So you might be young, you might be looking at this and you might be young, or the person who is your soulmate might be younger than you. If he or she isn't young, he or she has that spark of you know, of being young. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. It's like this youthful spark. He or she has it. This feels like a brand new relationship, a brand new type of relationship, full enthusiasm and joy and passion. This is also passion. This could be also love at first sight. You see him or her, and you fell, and both of you might fell like head over heels for each other, like love at first sight type of thing. Now, you are a Gemini, but you might have something, for instance, in Aries, or for instance, you might have the Venus in Aries, or you might have something in a fire sign. For instance, you might have the Moon in Gemini, but you might have the Sun in Sagittarius, or the rising sign in Leo, something like that. So you might be a mix of fire and air, or the person who is going to be your soulmate, if you have not already met him or her, might be an Aries, or might have something in a fire sign, for instance Sagittarius or a Leo. Okay, this to me kind of feels like young love, what has like the feeling of young love. Also tells me this is a brand new person. Okay, this is a brand new person, and maybe you've never met him or her before, including past lives. Then, that which is yet not seen, you have the Ten of Spirals. So this means that there might be a lot of burdens connected, and up until you meet him or her, if you have not met him or her already, your life will be full of burdens and responsibilities. And you see this centaur, like half horse, half man, and he is at crossroads. Okay, he's at crossroads. That's what I'm singing. So just a moment, please. Just a moment. So let's continue. Gemini, like I was saying, maybe this person is at a crossroad in his life or her life. Okay. Maybe this person who is your soulmate or will be your soulmate has a life full of burdens and responsibilities. Maybe his fire or her fire is a bit dimmed, you know, it's not fully there. So maybe you will only meet him or her when his burdens and his responsibilities, or her burdens and responsibilities, end, when he or she chooses not to carry such a heavy load. He or she might carry the weight of the world. He or she might feel that he needs to take care of everything and everyone, and maybe your soulmate thinks that himself or herself comes last. And maybe when he or she decides to do something for him or for her in terms of joy that gives him joy, or her, this is the time when you will meet him or her. Now, if you already know who this person is, I would say that perhaps when this person abandons his burdens or her burdens and does something for him or for her, like something that gives him joy, or this is the time when you will meet him or her. Another way of reading this card, you, Gemini, you are the one who has a life full of burdens and responsibilities right now. And at some point when you are at a crossroad in your life, you might meet him or her, and it might be love at first sight. Then the root of the situation, or the causes, you have the Seven of Mirrors. The seven of Mirrors in traditional decks is called the Seven of Cups. So it's a card of illusions, a card of daydreaming. So you might have been daydreaming about your soulmate for a very long time, and you might be stuck in your illusions. You might have had difficulty in seeing the truth about your soulmate. You might already be with your soulmate, it depends. But there's some element of illusion connected with you and him. This card also tells me that whomever has these burdens or responsibilities, it could be your soulmate or you could be the one who has these burdens and responsibilities, they all are caused by some sort of illusion. So you might be, for instance, in a relationship already, but it's not with your soulmate, and you're doing everything possible to make this relationship work, and it's not working, Gemini. And you are the one who carries the heavy load of the relationship. And at some point, Gemini, your dreams and illusions will be shattered, and you'll be forced to see the reality. And maybe it will be at that point when you will meet this person, and this person might come at the right time, and you will have a proper relationship with this soulmate. Or it could be the other way around. The other person is maybe he or she is already in a relationship. If it's not a relationship, could be like really devoted to his work or her work, and it's like this heavy load is fueled by illusions. He thinks he has to do everything, or she thinks that she has to do everything. Or if he is in a relationship, he feels that he has to carry this relationship on his back alone. He has to do all the work. He has to put in all the effort. And at some point, he will meet you, and there's be like this love at first sight that will make everything new for both of you. Now, the past influencing the present and the future. The past, you have the Celtic owl, which is the Hanged Man in traditional decks. The Celtic owl can see in the darkness. So this is the past. You might have had in the past, an inkling of who this person might be. I would say maybe perhaps in your dreams, or some sort of like intuition. Some sort of intuition. It's like you could see clearly, for instance, in the past that maybe perhaps you were not with the right person, but you decided to sacrifice yourself to make this relationship, whatever this relationship is, work, or whatever past relationships work, but there's like an element of sacrifice connected with the past, with, I would say, past relationships. This could be him or her as well. This could be your soulmate. Maybe your soulmate could see things like intuitively, even psychically, but he or she sacrificed himself or herself in order to make, for instance, a relationship work. It took upon him to carry all the burdens connected with this hypothetical past relationships. Now, another way of reading the Celtic owl, if one connects this with past lives, maybe perhaps in the past, in your hypothetical past lives, you always had to sacrifice yourself in the love department. So you never, in terms of love never worked for you in past lives, Gemini. It never did. So I would say that this is the end of you sacrificing yourself for love. It's done. And now this is a brand new chapter in terms of love, where you no longer have to sacrifice, where you can live with joy and happiness and passion. Now, that which is in your mind, or that which you want, you have Mahat, which is the Justice card, another major arcana card, Gemini. And Mahat is the goddess of justice in ancient Egypt, and what I'm seeing here is a Leo. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a Leo there. So maybe your romantic soulmate might have something. He might have he might have actually the 3 signs. He might have, for instance, the sun in Aries. He might have the rising sign in Sagittarius, because the 10 of spirals, or the 10 of wands, it's a centaur. The centaur is the symbol of the Sagittarius. And he might have, like, for instance, the moon in Leo or the Venus in Leo. So he might have something very profoundly fiery in his nature or her nature, okay? Because this is a very general reading. But that which is in your mind is harmony and fairness within love relationships. You want a fair love relationship. You don't want to be the one carrying all the burdens and all the responsibilities and taking care of everything. You want a relationship, a love relationship, to be fair. This is what you want. This is what you desire. That which is in your mind with the Justice card, the Justice, is also connected with the sign of Libra. So I mentioned a lot of signs, but I'm going to mention another one, Libra. So for some of you, your soulmate might also have something very important in Libra. He or she might have sun, moon, or rising sign in Libra. I don't know. There's like a fiery nature with the air nature. So that which is in your mind, it might be him or her, your soulmate, and your soulmate might also desire an harmonious type of love relationship where everything is fair. Also, the Justice card is connected with marriage. So you want to marry your soulmate, I would say. Now, the near future, and I don't know when the near future will be. This could be the time when you're going to meet him or her, or it could be connecting with the time when you will meet him or her, but I don't know when that will be. This could be 3 months from now, this could be a year from now, this could be 10 years from now. I have no idea. You have the Page of Stones, which in traditional decks, it's the Page of Pentacles. And here it's called the Acrobat. You know what I got? It's like you might meet him or her in the circus. I don't know. Does this make any type of sense to you? You might meet your soulmate in the circus. I don't know. Maybe at some sort of creative event where circus types of people are involved, you know, clowns, acrobats, some sort of an event like that. Honestly, what I'm getting is that you perhaps don't know this person yet, because this is a brand new energy. I don't think you know him or her. Anyway, so the Page of Stones, in this, again, the pages are young people. This is a young person. So whomever you are, Gemini, you might be young yourself. Or your soulmate is younger than you, Gemini. So you might meet him or her when when your soulmate is starting something new in his life or her life, or when you are learning to do something new. I don't know, could be a training course, could be, you know, you get a job, you need to go, you need to do some sort of training. So maybe you meet him or her during that time, or maybe you decide to, I don't know, learn a new language, learn a new skill, and you go for a course. And during that course, this is the time when you're going to meet him or her. The next card represents you, or symbolizes you, Gemini. You have the Ace of Stones, which is the Ace of Pentacles, or the Ace of Coins in traditional decks. So this is a brand new start in your material life. So you will feel that you can build a life, even in material terms, with your soulmate. This is how you'll feel, I would say. Or you might meet him or her when you are starting a new job. when you are starting some sort of new financial endeavor, some sort of new project that will give you money. Maybe you have an ordinary job and you decide to start freelancing. And when you start freelancing, for instance, this is the time when you meet your soulmate, or when you decide to, open up your own business. This is the time when you might meet your soulmate. Also, you feel that you can build a life with him or her, a brand new life, a proper life. Now, the next card is in the position of the others, people surrounding you, or how other people see you. I'm going to connect this card with your soulmate. You have the Two of Mirrors, which is the Two of Cups in traditional decks. Which is also the soulmate card. So this is your soulmate. So, and he might look at you and feel the same. He or she might look at you and feel exactly the same. This is like love at first sight. You both look at each other and recognize each other as soulmates. And the Two of Mirrors also tells me that maybe your life might mirror each other. So your life might be similar to his or to hers, and his life or her life might be similar to yours. Maybe you could have spent your entire life in the same town, and you went to the same school, and you went to the same coffee shop, and you never met, But there's some sort of your life mirrors each other's life. So there's some sort of similarities between both of your lives, Gemini. Another way of reading this card is how other people look at both of you. And they look at both of you as soulmates. They recognize the same that you recognize each other. They look at you and they absolutely see that you are meant to be together. Okay? Now, the next card is in the position of hopes, fears, dreams, and advice. And you have the Merlin, or the hero, which in traditional decks is the Fool. Now, the Fool in traditional decks speaks of starting something new. So you might be afraid of starting something new, and at the same time your desire is to be able to start something new, a new type of love relationship, or to kind of change the type of guys or girls you go for. So maybe you routinely sacrifice yourself in the love relationship department or area. So it's like normal to you to be filled with illusions and just think that, oh, if I do this for him or for her, our love will work. But with this card, with the hero card, what I'm getting is that you're tired of doing that and you want to start a brand new type of relationship where you don't have to do that, where you don't have to be required to sacrifice yourself so much in order to make the relationship work. So your desire is to start something brand new. The Ace of Spirals tells me the same. The Ace of Stones tells me the same. And this is at the same time, this is your fear. The advice here would be to not be afraid of starting something new. Go for it with no problem. Just go for it. Go for it with faith, but at the same time with open eyes. Okay? Also be the hero in your own story, because maybe perhaps you were Gemini in the past, in other relationships, you were in the background. You did all the work. And the person with whom you were with, that person was the hero. So you are not even the hero in your own story. So you need to be the hero in your own story right now. Okay? In your love story. Now, finally, the outcome. You have the king, the King of Mirrors, or the King of Cups in traditional decks, which here is called the Sojourner. The King of Mirrors or the King of Cups is someone who loves unconditionally. So someone who is there to support you, someone who's always emotionally available, someone who is wise. So this tells me that you might be together with this person for a very long time. and you might travel with this person, because I'm seeing the horse, and you might travel together into the future, and you leave the past behind, both of you, and you will love each other unconditionally, and you will support each other, and your love will grow more and more as you spend more and more time together. You're going to grow old together, you're going to be happy together, you're going to start a new story together, you're going to be traveling together. So I say that this is a very good reading. Now, remember in the beginning the cards that I've shown you. So if you haven't picked, please pick now. Ring, birds, or tree. Pick one of these cards, and I'm going to tell you the meaning right now. Okay? Now, if you picked the card tree, it means that between 80 and 90% of this reading applies to you. If you picked the card birds, it means that between 40 and 50% of this reading applies to you. And finally, if you picked the card ring, it means that between 10 and 20% of this reading applies to you. Okay, that's it. This is the reading that I have. If you'd like your own personal reading similar to this one, please write to dunyazade@gmail.com, and I'd be delighted to work with you. Bye bye.